very good in building character players. You can't replace a Brian Dawkins. Do I think there's going to be another leader to prevail? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because Andy Reid has always emphasized character players, and the one thing he emphasized about character players, he never quit on you. And he's absolutely right. Back in 02, 03 against Carolina, that team overachieved that year. They went on an amazing 9-game win. That was on guts and heart and character. And you know what? I think Andy Reid is a very good coach. I do question a lot of the things that he does on game day decisions. I don't think he's good at changing a game plan on the fly.
Like running Brian Westbrook up the middle twice in a row.
And knowing that you don't really have the horses in the front to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think Brian Westbrook was the problem. I think.
Oh, no, I don't think Westbrook's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the blocking scheme or the play and a lot of factors. And listen, they put a lot of time and effort into it. I don't think Andy Reid deliberately wants to lose NFC Championship games, but
he just seems stubbornly attached to this system.
Absolutely, and which we discussed in private is a downfall with a lot of politicians. That they. Exactly. They stay focused and stubborn on one issue, one agenda, and they go forward with it. And whether it's their downfall or not, whether it's their demise or not.
Right.
Do I think I'm smarter, or do I think the fans are smarter than they are? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I could never put the time and effort that, like I'm sure Andy Reid does, into putting the team together, formulating a game plan, studying the films. And he's got very good coaches around him, Jim Johnson, and look how many coaches are now head coaches with other teams and having success. And
it seemed to me like he was just a stubborn guy.
Yeah,
like he was determined to take this guy Donovan McNabb, who a lot of people didn't want to come here in the first place. You alluded to before.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't want Ricky Williams. I wanted the trade. Do you remember the trade?
Yeah.
With Ditka, he was going to give up 7 draft picks.
So that's I was going to ask you. That's what you were for.
Yeah, I wanted the trade because I know that the Eagles could have got those 7 picks, traded half of them back, and still got Donovan McNabb.
Right.
Or they would have got Dante Culpepper, which was that been that bad?
Might have worked quite well.
I think under Andy Reid, because he was such a quarterback coach, I think that he could have done just as well with Dante Culpepper, who was there at 11 when he got picked. But he just gets these blind spots with certain aspects, where the system is bigger than the replaceable parts, and I agree to the emphasis on both offensive and defensive line. But you got to have more superstars.
Yeah.
I mean, McNabb has shown in crunch time he needs that one other piece. He needs that one other piece. He only had it 1 year. And I'm not referring to T.O. T.O. carried him up to a certain point. But they had a healthy Westbrook in that NFC Championship game and Super Bowl game. T.O. was not healthy in either one. Okay? And he came within 3 points of winning that Super Bowl. But
still hurts.
Yeah, it still hurts. But Tom Brady and New England and Belichick, I mean, listen, that's Hall of Fame all around.
Sure.
But they had the defense, they had the intricate parts. But McNabb, on crunch time, he's shown time and time again that he needs another piece. He needs someone to kick him in the ass and say, come on, you can do it. Brian Dawkins was there, couldn't do it because he was on the defensive side of the ball. If he's going to get that leadership, he needs it in some other piece.
So you think that's what's missing, a leadership figure, piece, whatever you want to call it, on offense?
And a specialty position. Whether it's running back, whether it's tight end whether it's a wide receiver, okay, or in a center. Jackson might be a very good center. He knows how to call, but is he the leader that McNabb needs? Is he? We know it's not Sean Andrews. We know it's not Sean Andrews.
Right there.
John Ryans took on the role, for some degree.
Right.
Okay, so give him, a tight end or a wide receiver that will get in his face like T.O. did again with the Pittsburgh game, and in the championship game, where at least he got his mind focused.
Focused on, yeah.
You know, and I think that's what McNabb needs. He needs someone to keep him focused. We don't have the Cowboys of the 90s where they were beating teams by 20 points. I know that's what Andy Reid's game plan is. You know, sometimes it comes down to the last play.
Right.
And I don't think McNabb is the quarterback that has that to do it on his own.
So what do you think they're going to be able to do in the near term in the NFC East going into this year?
Well, the Giants made a lot of good moves.
They did.
I think I would put them at the top of the. I think the Eagles are probably the second best team. I'm not quite convinced on Washington.
Yeah, Washington's always supposed to be good for like the past 5 years, and it just never seems
to
really
come
come together for them.
Right, and Dallas is a mess. So, tear.
Everywhere the man goes, he's a cancer.
Well, he's gone. I think they're a mess because of their owner.
Now he'll give Buffalo.
Well, I don't think T.O. was the biggest problem there. I mean, I think Jerry Jones' interference with the running of personnel decisions is the problem. I mean, you can't buy championships in the NFL. Washington has proven that. I mean,
but it's one of the reasons I love football.
Well, yeah, and parity, and the drafts, and the front lines. That's and game planning and adjustments during the game, coaching. That's what's going to win the championships. I mean, and who's the better cheater?
We're showing our Eagles colors right now.
Yeah. Belichick is he's a piece of work, isn't he?
He was actually going to help me film this today, but
Belichick?
They're not letting him near cameras anymore.
I know you mean the other guy. The guy that's in exile now.
What was his name?
I don't
forget
remember.
Already.
He's living pretty good. He's living in Hawaii now, right? That's where they found him.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think I saw that in the ESPN wire.
Yeah,
must be nice.
Yeah. So.